That rand continuing to weaken this morning, trading around R7.10 against the dollar at this point. What's pushing this currency weaker this morning? I noticed probably quiet trade as well due to that Thanksgiving Day holiday yesterday.
Good morning, Stephen. When we start first with what was happening yesterday, we did see the rand still strengthening above R7 level. It seems like the rand is benefiting from the dollar strength as well, given that the dollar is also benefiting from its safe haven status. And with today, we had commodity prices lower and Asian markets also opening quite lower. And with the rand, that means that the rand has also depreciated a bit against the dollar. And with reports as well from China that China is trying to limit their liquidity and they're trying to continue to tighten policy. So in terms of emerging market, I mean, that is also negative for the rand because then it's interpreted as Chinese economy trying to cool, or Chinese authorities trying to cool the economy.
Well, in the meantime, we've seen the euro quite weak against the dollar as well. How about the rand euro? What sort of movements have we seen against the euro over the course of the week?
Over the week, we've seen the rand also strengthening against the euro. We had fears as well that the euro area is still in trouble in terms of what's happening with the debt crisis. And also yesterday we had authorities also trying to push forward for Portugal to get us a bailout as well. So in terms of the rand versus the euro, we've seen the rand strengthening quite a lot against the euro this week.
Producer inflation numbers yesterday, 6.4% rise for October, coming in better than expected, or lower than expected rather. How do you tie that in with the higher than expected CPI we saw on Wednesday?
I guess, for the PPI, it bodes well for CPI, especially when you look at the food inflation side of it, where we're still seeing deflationary effects from the food prices. We had food inflation at the agricultural level and manufacturing level, still declining on a year-on-year basis. However, one must be really cautious of prices such as grain and oil seeds, because those prices seems to be trending higher over the past few months. So those prices are quite important as they can be passed through to consumer inflation in the next few weeks or in the next few months.
I see there's not much data due for release today. What would you expect the rand to do given that long Thanksgiving Day holiday weekend over in the United States? Would you expect the rand just to drift into the weekend?
Stephen, in terms of the holiday, we do know that when liquidity is quite low, that tends to make rand movements quite higher or larger. So in terms of the rand going into the weekend, it seems like the rand will just continue to weaken given the debt crisis concern in the euro area.